Yeah, even in the future, if you want to send out a broadcast, but you want to send it out just to your purchasers. So you eliminate anybody that just added to cart but didn't purchase. So now you have a custom audience that you can send that broadcast to in the future, especially like, let's say if you're going to have a flash sale, Prime Days coming up, if you're an Amazon seller, Black Friday obviously coming up. So you want to be able to segment, who is a purchaser and who is not.
So to start with, let's go with Natural Slim. Since this is the account that actually has a Shopify store, we're going to cover Dr. Berg as well. Dr. Berg is a little bit different. With Dr. Berg's account, he has Magento. So instead of the ManyChat and Shopify integration, we actually used the ManyChat or the ManyChat Pixel. If you're wanting to do a training on the ManyChat Pixels, you can refer to our coaching index. We did cover those in detail on the earlier coachings, along with the sample codes that you can actually use. All you have to do is replace the ManyChat Pixel afterwards. You can locate the ManyChat Pixel now under settings. On the earlier coaching sessions, ManyChat actually had the ads and the pixel located under growth tools. So they did a recent update, I think a month or a couple of months ago, and moved several sections of the ManyChat platform. For example, ManyChat Pixel is now under settings. Your default reply, welcome message, and main menu are also now under settings. That's going to be under Messenger. Previously, it was under the automation section. So going back to our Shopify integration first, just a quick recap on how to integrate it. Just simply go to your settings section, integrations, and simply enter in here. Let's go to Dr. Berg instead since he has no Shopify. So once you go to settings, integrations, simply add your Shopify store URL. The Shopify store URL has or should start with the myshopify.com link and your store URL afterwards in order for it to work. Once you added the store URL, click the Connect Shopify account. It's automatically going to redirect you to your Shopify store. You will be asked to install an unlisted app. Currently, the ManyChat app for Shopify is not listed on the Shopify apps. So that should be fine to use since ManyChat already had the integration. They're just waiting for the approval for them to be one of the preferred or listed apps inside Shopify. So once you have completed the integration, the most basic setup that you can generate or track your Messenger subscribers once they go to your Shopify store and also generate leads at the same time is just to set up a customer chat growth tool. It's fairly easy to set up. All growth tools, you only need to install the snippet code once. Snippet codes are going to be under the growth tool sections. Once you select any of the snippet codes, example, sliding. Actually, let's go ahead and change to customer chat since that's what we covered earlier. Let's say customer chat growth tool. Once you edited your copy, you go to your setup, just simply click install JavaScript snippet. Step B, this is the snippet code that you have to install on your website. If you are on Shopify, this is going to be under your theme liquid header section. So install at the very top of your theme liquid section.
Do you have admin access to Shopify so we can maybe go through that? It's just like 5 different steps that you have to click on.
Yes, let me open a Shopify store.
Because it's very easy, but you just have to know where to find that. Because if you have a Shopify store, like John was saying, it's a little bit different than like a WordPress site. And so the coding is a little bit different, but it's still very simple if you know where to click and where to paste this.
Yes, for other websites, not Shopify, you can't use the ManyChat and Shopify integration. I would recommend going through the ManyChat Pixel instead. You can customize each of the ManyChat pixels. So if you want to track page loads as a view content event inside ManyChat, you can do so. If you want to track purchases, for example, with Dr. Berg, we have multiple pixels or ManyChat pixels on his website, we can actually track purchases. You can also do or go through the conversion events if they viewed the product page, if they actually purchased afterwards. We have multiple pixel trackings for each of those. Now, the thing, however, is with pixel code, you actually have to manually set it up per product or per landing page or website you have. That's the only downside with the pixel. For
Yeah, so
ManyChat and Shopify integrations, it's pretty dynamic afterwards, so you can
right.
easily track the sales. And both of them actually are tracking on their first contact. So first contact means if they click the button from ManyChat, they want to go to your store and purchase, it's going to be recorded. If they click the button from the broadcast you sent, they go to your store, closed it, go back to the store the next day and purchase, it's not going to be tracked inside any of the integrations we currently have, either Pixel from ManyChat or the ManyChat and Shopify integration. That's the only downside, so you may want to use UTM links afterwards.
Yeah. I don't like that limitation for now, but it's all new. And when things are new, we get certain limitations like this, but it will definitely get better. I've seen ManyChat improve on every single feature they've come out with. So I'm sure that they're going to come out with some different attribution settings as time goes on, and we'll probably be able to track these clicks for at least, I would say, a week or up to 30 days, but we'll see what happens there.
Yes.
So we're inside the admin, right, of the Shopify store. Okay.
And then we are currently on the admin. So if you are using a theme, just go ahead and go to edit code under the action section.
So one thing to point out how you got to the theme is over here on the left where it says sales channels online store. If you just click on that, you get that drop down menu where it says themes. And then so you'll get that previous screen that John was just showing, and you click edit code, and then it brings you to right here.
Yes. For online stores that are using custom coding to set up their themes afterwards. So normally you just purchase a theme, drag and drop for products. But if you have a Shopify developer on your team, they do sometimes create custom codes for your store, but the installation of the pixel is almost exactly the same everywhere else. It's going to be under the theme liquid. And currently, you will install the ManyChat pixel code right in this section. So that would be
on ManyChat,
along with your Google Tag Manager.
Yeah, on ManyChat, it said to put it right under the head section, right?
Yes, this is the head section of the code that goes along with any or all tracking codes that you have. For example, currently for Natural Slim, we also have the Google Tag Manager.
Yep.
So it can go either above or below this section.
Cool. Yeah, so that as long as it's after the section that says Meta, right, on Shopify stores.
Yes. We could actually go ahead and search for it. Let's see, ManyChat. Oh, we don't have it installed here.
No, because I think this is a custom one.
Yes. But yeah, this is the section under Theme Liquid that you can go ahead and install your ManyChat snippet code. Once you install it once, you no longer have to install it multiple times. Even though you're going to create a slide-in growth tool or a page takeover, you only install once on your website. And any growth tools that you have, it can be a embeddable widget or overlay widgets, or the regular growth tools can be customer chat or checkbox. Only install once, and then once you have those active, it will just automatically pop up or show inside your website. And if you are using any of the widgets as well, you can customize where to show or where to not show those growth tools. For example, for customer chat, you don't want to show those on checkout and the checkout process.
Or
you
cart.
Can just, or the add to cart process, you can just add the URL in here, and that will automatically exclude that specific landing page on where you show the growth tools. Or if you only want the growth tool specifically for the ones that actually cover the whole page. The page takeover growth tool, you can have it set up for desktop only. That should work fine as well. So going back to our live tutorials, let's start with the Shopify audiences first. Let me know if I'm going too fast. I'm just going to go over the Shopify section. Since we did cover this on the earlier sections, I'm going to go directly to showing the current data we have. So first is, let's check how many Shopify customers we currently have. With the ManyChat and Shopify integration, you can actually get those data. So currently, ever since we started the integration 2 months ago, I believe, we now have tracked or recorded 3,836 ManyChat subscribers that are also all Shopify customers. We know that they are Shopify customers. If you open a profile or an account, it will have the Shopify customer data. This is the raw data on what information ManyChat was able to pull up from Shopify. So currently, subscriber accepts marketing.
So to clarify on that, John, do they need to click a link inside your ManyChat and then go buy in order to be tagged in here as Shopify customer? Or just from them just buying something on your store and being a subscriber, does it track everything?
As long as they are a ManyChat subscriber, you can go ahead and get the data. So
Very
you can
cool.
get the ManyChat subscribers from your lead magnets, from your mini courses. As long as they go ahead and visit your Shopify store, you will able to get data as to if they purchased, if they haven't purchased, if they have abandoned the cart. You can easily grab those data afterwards. So far, ManyChat will have a record on how many items they purchased, what was the total money spent, and the last checkout price, and when was the last checkout date, and if they actually accept marketing. Now, most, if not all, subscribers will have a phone and an email associated with their account. Now, you actually have to do a great job on asking for their phone and email if you don't have those set up yet. Normally, if you have the customer chat growth tool on your website, you will only have a messenger subscriber. So what I would suggest is have a rule in place that would trigger as well when a new subscriber comes in, or you can have it triggered for specific growth tools connected to your Shopify store, or specific tags connected to the growth tools inside your Shopify store. For example, if it's a customer chat growth tool, you can start the flow with a tag. So the tag would be right after the trigger action. So if we go back to our customer chat section, edit the flow. So normally, this is how your customer chat would look like. Now, what I would recommend is add an action step before the message and add a tag that says came in from Shopify. And publish. Now, anyone coming in from the customer chat growth tool will automatically be tagged by this message. And what you can do is actually add a rule in place that when the tag is applied, that will serve as our trigger. And you can have the action send a flow to either ask for their email or ask for their phone number. On our earlier coaching sessions, I believe it was, let's see the example. The session where we covered the email and phone number extraction, we did have a few templates shared. One of those is your customer chat growth tool, the flow connected to it. It actually asks for the user's email every time they, or once they actually click on the customer chat growth tool. That way, you have the messenger subscriber, and you will also have an email subscriber. So the only thing you have to ask afterwards is their phone number. So you have to be creative on how you ask for their phone numbers. There has to be something in value in return for users or subscribers to give you those information.
And John, can you show us how to do a dynamic audience of all your Shopify customers? So in case they want to, retarget them and upsell, cross-sell, and everything else.
Yes. So we also have two options for creating that dynamic audience. The easiest option is going to be the same steps we did earlier. So you go to your ad section, create a new ad. Now, if you already have a template before that you used to create the custom audiences, you can just use those. If not, then just go ahead and create an ad. You can use that for future custom audience creations as well. So let's search for the ad account. Create a new campaign. Now for the campaign type, you can actually use any of these campaign types, either message or traffic, really doesn't matter because you're only going to use this to create the custom audience. Create an ad set. Now on the ad set section, currently the use custom or lookalike audience is currently loading. This is where you would create the custom audience. As I mentioned earlier on the video from the slides, you actually have to be an admin of the Facebook page at ManyChat in order for you to be able to create the custom audiences or lookalike audiences. If you're not an admin, then this section will actually be grayed out. So let's go ahead and select custom audience and Shopify name from ManyChat. Name the audience directly. Now to select only Shopify customers, you're going to filter the audiences again. Search for Shopify. This is going to be a Boolean setup, meaning true or false. And you select Shopify customer is true. So anyone that is or has purchased from Shopify that was recorded from ManyChat is going to be added. And just simply hit create audience. Now that's the first step. You now have the custom audience. It's currently not dynamic yet. You just created a custom audience. It's the same process as, or exactly the same as creating the custom audience directly from your business manager. To make it dynamic, two options. Easiest option again is don't forget to click abort. You don't want to, by the way, to continue the campaign. Easiest option is under the rules section. So let's go ahead and edit the sample we used earlier. So under rules section, let's see. Subscriber, custom field change. You can trigger via log conversion event if they click purchase or checkout. Or another option for the Shopify ManyChat integration is to actually have it trigger directly from your abandoned cart flow. If you have, let's say, let's create an abandoned cart message. Abandoned cart flow or messages are normally set up under starting steps. So you add a trigger, select your trigger, Shopify, abandoned cart. We do a condition, cart is paid. If cart is paid false or no, you send out your abandoned cart message. If cart is paid true, you can also send an upsell message, but you can add them to the custom audience via an action step. So you select Facebook custom audience, then you select your ad account and the custom audience on where you want them to be added. Now this is, however, the manual process, since you actually have to update each of the flow you currently have running. But this is one of the best sections where you can dynamically update those audiences. So ad account. And earlier, let me just quickly recap. This is the section where you can actually add or remove the subscriber from the custom audience. So if you want to remove them from the audience or custom audience you are using, then you can just select this section. So we want to add them to a custom audience under the ad account Natural Slim USA. Custom audience name would be Shopify customers from ManyChat. Now, another option is if you already have the abandoned cart messages and you just want to have an action step that adds or removes them from a custom audience, you can also add here another section if the cart is paid false or no to add them to another custom audience now for the ones that actually you will need to remind to complete the purchase. So you now have a custom audience for Shopify customers. You also have a different custom audience for those that only added to cart. That way you can also retarget them on your Facebook ads differently. So for those that complete the purchase, you can create a campaign that upsells or cross-sells another product. For the cart paid true or false, you can create a campaign to remind them to complete their purchase. So that way you can touch them on multiple points, one from Messenger, SMS, or email, and one from your Facebook ads. Thus increases your chances of conversion.
Even in the future, if you want to send out a broadcast, but you want to send it out just to your purchasers. So you eliminate anybody that just added to cart but didn't purchase. So now you have a custom audience that you can send that broadcast to in the future, especially like, let's say if you're going to have a flash sale, Prime Days coming up, if you're an Amazon seller, Black Friday obviously coming up. So you want to be able to segment, who is a purchaser and who is not. Also depending on the promotion, you might just want to send it to everybody and increase your audience and your chances of getting more sales. But again, there's obviously a million different scenarios, but you definitely want to segment your purchasers and just, tire kickers.
Yes. Another good option for you to actually create the audience is for abandoned browse subscribers. So normally with ManyChat Shopify integration, if a user just went to your Shopify store, they browsed products, but they didn't add to cart or purchase afterwards, you can trigger specific messages. This is one example of an abandoned browse feature. Currently, it is targeting or promoting the personal programs. So you can also add an action step. You notice that there is actually a tag already on the flow. Subscriber came in from Shopify. You can add an action step that also adds them to a custom audience. So that way you can have separate custom audiences per product that they actually browsed. So you can also retarget them aside from the normal DPA ads or catalog ads. You can also, or you will also know directly who from your ManyChat subscribers actually are viewing your products. Thus, would also greatly increase your conversions afterwards if you talk to them differently compared to the ones you normally do. For example, if they are a ManyChat subscriber, you can first say thank you for being a ManyChat subscriber. We've noticed you've previously viewed product A. Here are a few details or benefits about product A, and then you can put some bullet points and an FAQ video of some sort, and just the call to action button to complete the purchase. That can be a good example as well for your dynamic custom audience. So you have a variety of ads targeting how your subscribers engage inside your ManyChat account and your Shopify store.